Welcome to the Star Wars TIE Advanced X1 1977 build guide. I'm going to precisely and relatively quickly explain to you on how to build this ship. This is an excellent mod originally done by Alexion and then ported over to Creations by Bill Jones. This is one crazy fast ship. I will show you right now what I mean. You basically go fast as you would ever imagine. You can whip through asteroid belts like you wouldn't believe. It is a very fun ship to fly and to muck around with, and you can get the death spins in this thing. It is incredible. Yeah. You won't be disappointed with this one. It is a nice little ship. It feels very different to the others, as well as it packs quite an amount of damage and punch, and it is overall just an excellent mod and ship to get into. We're going to go over all the building instructions, the load order, everything you need. If you do get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing. It really goes a long way. I appreciate your time. Let's get into it. So the load order for the TIE, we want to type in TIE in the search. We would download this Advanced X1 Star Wars ACSO mod, noting that the essential mod for this mod to work is the shipbuilding tweaks by Evansy. For that, we go search, type in tweaks. Here it is, shipbuilding tweaks. Make sure it's by Evansy. We would download this. When it comes to the load order, ensure that the shipbuilding tweaks is always under any of the Star Wars ship builds. Best result, you could put it down the bottom, but as long as it's below any of your other ship mods, it will be fine. See how the Naboo is above the ship tweaks? The best result, you could put it directly above. This is just an example. It could be the TIE, Millennium Falcon, etc. Just ensure it's in this order. Shipbuilding tweaks below or the ships above. With that out of the way, let's get to the build. To begin, we need a ship that we don't want or a very cheap ship. We want to double click or press on any component to select it all and then just delete it, and we're going to be starting it fresh. Before we get started, quickly go to your structural tab, click the fuselage, make sure that you can place this. If you can't place it, ensure that your tweaks mod is at the very bottom of your load order. Okay, so to start us off, we will be going to the hab category. We're looking for the VT hab, and this is it right here. This is what it looks like, and we'll be going back into the categories. Navigate to your cockpit category. You're looking for the VT cockpit. The VT cockpit is just snapping to the back connection of the hab. So just a closer look, you can see here we are snapping to that back connection point. Next, we need to navigate to the structural tab to add the VT nano module mount. We're going to mount it to the front there. So it looks like this. So mounting the front connection to this hab. So look very logical when mounted. Next, we want to add the reactor. Head to the reactor tab. Ensure to select the VT reactor. The reactor will sit nicely in the back there, just like this. So this connection point, not the back, not the one further back, the one in the middle. Next, we're going to mount the hyperdrive by going to your grab drive tab, selecting the VT class for hyperdrive. The hyperdrive will be mounted to the back in line with the reactor. Next, we're going to add the fuel tank and cargo storage. Starting off with the fuel tank, we want to navigate to our fuel tank tab. We're looking for the VT fuel tank. We're going to be mounting that on the port side closest to the hab. Keep in mind there are two connection points very close to each other. We want the fuel tank closest to the hab. Next, we need to add the cargo. Navigate to your cargo tab. Seek out the VT shielded cargo that is going to be placed next to the fuel tank. Keep in mind, I'm pretty sure these components can go for the most part on either side, but we'll stick to the plan and just have these two placed here. Next, we're going to add the shield and the scanner jammer on the starboard side in alignment with the cargo and fuel tank. Starting us off with the shield, navigate to your shield builder tab, find the VT shield. VT shield will be placed closest to the hab, so it'll sit just like that. We're going to be adding the VT scanner jammer. Head to your equipment, select the VT scanner jammer that is going to sit next to the shield. Here is a quick look of how it is all looking right now. Next, we're going to be mounting the VT landing gear. Head to your gear tab, seek out the VT lander port side. When you pick up your landing gear port side, there'll be two different connections, one at the back, one at the fore. We're looking to connect it at the front. You will then have an alignment, the shielded cargo, the fuel tank, and the lander port side. We're going to be doing the exact same on the starboard. We will duplicate flip connecting to the same point, but on the starboard side. On the starboard side, we'll have an alignment, the scanner jammer, shield, and the landing gear. Next, we're going to be connecting the three weapon systems. Navigate to your weapons tab. Starting from the top, we'll start with the VT suppressor. The VT suppressor will be mounted at the very back behind the hab. Dropping down into the back of the ship here. Be careful, it can be a bit tricky to get snapped, but this is exactly where you'd want it. It is technically above the hab. Next, we'll add the cluster missile. Head to your weapons tab, select the VT cluster missile. Cluster missile is mounted below the hab. With the cluster missile selected, align it with the front snap it back. It should automatically, if on the correct level, snap into place. It sits slightly above the hab. Here is some better angles just so you get a really good idea of how it is sitting. Next, we'll be adding the 2 laser cannons. Both laser cannons will be mounted to either side of the cockpit below. However, before putting one in place, I suggest you select it, duplicate it before mounting, and then we're just going to mount 2 at the same time. So they should easily snap in, and this is what it will look like. This is the bottom. You can see that the suppressors at the back, missiles a little bit forward of the hab, and then the 2 laser weapons nicely mounted. Next, we're going to be adding the 4 different engines. Head to your engine category. We will start with the VT Ion port top. This will sit on the furthest from the center connection, just like this. So snap it to the end. Next, we'll build the VT Ion bottom. We'll place that closer to the reactor and the hyperdrive. So port top, port bottom, replicate those steps on the other side. We'll start with the VT Ion starboard top, placing that on the outside. Going back to our builder, grabbing the VT Ion starboard bottom, placing that on the inside. Do not duplicate these. When duplicated, it just creates the same port top and you're unable to flip it, so it will not create the same component as the starboard version. You will have to place all of these individually. Keep that in mind. So after we've placed the 4 engines individually from the engine tab, and next we're going to add the fuselage. Go to your structural tab, find the VT fuselage, grab the fuselage, and it will snap pretty much to the only connection. There is a back connection, but we don't want to use that. We just want to snap it in place there. Next, we're going to add the docker. Go to your docker tab. You'll find the VT docker. Grab your VT docker and place it on top. It will sit right here. Now we want to do the same thing, but with the landing bay on the underneath. So go to your bay tab, find your VT bay, grab that, and then we're going to drop it underneath, and it will kind of snap to that connection point behind the ship. We're trying to snap it just from a different angle. We're snapping it underneath, and that is it just there. And there we have all the components have been placed. We now just need to clear the errors. You can assign your weapons as you please. And then once the weapons have been checked, we should have no errors. When it comes to coloring, we're just going to select the fuselage, hit the color, and we're just going to make this part darker. And we do that by going color 2, just setting all these values to make it very dark inside, as well as the wings will get darker. Now, if you did want to change the overall color of the whole ship, you would select the fuselage, and color 1 is going to do that. So you can make it really white, you can make it a bit darker. Make sure if you do that, just select it all by double clicking or pressing on any of the components. Go into color, go J, color 1, and then adjust it accordingly. And there we have it. Star Wars TIE Advance X1 1977 is built. Let's go check it out. Make sure to save your game as soon as you've gotten out of the technician, just in case anything happens. And there's the itty little bitty ship. However, it looks fantastic. Now this one is much easier to get into. We'll just go to the cockpit by pressing R. There is not a lot to show you in terms of the internals of the ship, as no real habs are used. So we'll just take off. And there we have it. The Star Wars TIE Advance X1 1977. Isn't it a terrific looking ship? Nice, relatively easy build. If you have any issues, comments, do let me know. If you get anything out of these videos, consider liking, subscribing. I'll leave you with a bit of footage of the TIE Fighter in space, in combat. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, peace.